We have said, and it's really important for you to not leave without understanding what it is that we mean by this. When we met with the board, we make this very, very clear, and we've done it all the time. We have said that we custom every search. That is, we will tell boards the experience we've had and why. But we respect completely that this is their decision as the policy people. They've asked us to do this, and they'll ask our opinion, and we will tell them. There is one part of this that we have said is very important to us, and we are very unlikely to make any change on that. And that is the confidentiality nature of this search. Here's what we mean by that. That once we've gone through the whole process of gathering information, of doing outreach and talking to people and then talking with the board, and the board gets to the point where they decide what the criteria is, what the profile is, it is their decision, how to advertise, where to advertise, and what we tell them on the advertising is that we think that there are at least two places that are absolute musts, and one of them is the Star-Ledger because of its reach in the state of New Jersey. The other one that gives you a national profile is something called Education Week, which is a national journal that comes out weekly during the year and comes out a couple of times in the summer that has superintendent advertisements in it. That touches everyone from Alaska to Louisiana, from California to New Jersey. That gives you the national reach. There's also the New York Times, which gives you a national reach. There are some expenses associated with everything in that. But that's how we will proceed. And then we're going to look at all online possibilities, some of which do not cost money, as we do the outreach that needs to be done in this.
Plus all the professional organizations, the New Jersey Association of School Managers,
Right.
School boards, superintendents, principals groups, they'll also get on, they'll advertise the positions for us on their websites as well.
Now, here's where the confidentiality comes in. Once those decisions are made by the board, what we have said is, from the point that that's decided, and it is advertised, the only people who know who the candidates of interest are the two of us. And we do that because there are very talented people who do not want their interest in finding out about this opportunity to find its way to the front page of the newspaper where they work. And
Until there's a reason.
until there's a reason. Now, there's a point where it has to be public. But in that interim period of time, we tell candidates, we are the only ones who will get your papers. We're the only ones with the conversation to a certain point. Now, what happens with that is you keep people's interest longer. And you have an opportunity for them to find out how aggressively they want to pursue this, whether they want to do this or not. That part of it is essential, and it is in the best interest of a district and in candidates. It's not in the best interest of us. But the reason why we say that is if you hear that so-and-so is the candidate and they've decided, that is not accurate at all, can't be, because we're the ones who have that, and the board doesn't know who the candidates we think they should consider until we bring them to them. So we can't stop rumors, but you need to understand that we do that because we think that gives the district the best possibility of the best candidates, and it gives the candidates enough time to see whether or not this is the kind of place where they want to be
And at some
interested.
point, does the public get to see?
Yes. Yes.
Will the public?
Well, we'll tell you where that goes. Now, that means from the time the search is closed till the time that we present people that we call the semifinalists to the board, we're doing that. And we're doing the preliminary reference checks, not the full ones, but we're searching to make sure that there's nothing in somebody's past that's going to be an embarrassment for anybody. All right?
Check those doctrines.
Okay? Now, we tell the candidates that this is a confidential process, and though we may encourage the board when we give them those candidates to keep to a minimum in the way they want to decide how to proceed from there, it is very hard for that to stay as a confidential process once the candidates are presented to the board. We also encourage the board not to do this as a committee of the board, but to do it as the whole board in terms of the people we give them.
Good luck.
Okay? Well, the reason for that is this is such an important decision for the board that they should not decide that they're going to subcommittee this to somebody. They should not. It's got to be everybody who's in this. We will interview as many people who strike us as people who might be talented people. We do not, and we don't widely publicize this, what we do not on the reference checks widely publicize this, and we don't know how many people will watch us on this video, but I think you'll understand this. The reference checks of candidates that the board will do after we assert we've done some preliminary reference checks, which do not include names and who we spoke to or anything like that. We talk to people who know about a district. I've been involved in New Jersey education for a long time. Peter has as well. No one would prohibit me from exercising the judgment that I have based on what I know happened to somebody in a district or 2 or 3 or 4. But you understand the point. The board can't be just taking 6 people who happen to be, or 7 or 5, who happen to be able to present really well and then find out later that something has happened which would which would disqualify the continuation. That's where the confidentiality ends, because it is the board's decision from the point that we give them the 6, 7, 5, however many people who emerge out of our direct interviews, and we don't do this by phone. We actually sit and talk with people. We interview them. At that point, the board decides how they want to proceed, and we're going to give them some suggestions about how to do that. But that's their choice as to what they do once we present that to them. Other than we say, when you get 6 or 7, you don't want to pursue in a very public way 6 or 7 candidates. It'll take you forever to do that. You should find some orderly way of reducing that population to a population of around 2 to 3 candidates. At which point we have lots of ways where that becomes the most public of all exercises.
The board is doing that.
The board is deciding,
It's filtering that.
yeah, the 6,
You're right.
and however they want to do that.
Right.
They have some ideas. We say it has to be confidential till we give that to you. If you want to expand that or open that up, we'll give you some advice, but that's that.
When
they
you
do that.
present that list of, say, 6 people to the board, do you, in doing that, kind of rate them yourself?
No.
Okay.
We give them no priority, we give them no recommendation,
Okay.
we just say these people represent people we think
Can do the job.
there is a high probability can do this job very well.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be one of
It
us.
is their choice, it's not ours. We're not picking
No,
somebody.
okay, fine.
We're not doing that. So you had a question?
I guess my question was, the first time the board sees those resumes, that is when you're at 5, 6, or 7. So they don't see 15.
No, they
They don't
don't.
get an opportunity to do that, sort of ABC screening. You take care of that.
We've done that. Now, what we have, let me clarify something. We've had boards who have wanted to look after they had seen that to applications, and we have found a way to do that. We think that they hire us to do that, but if they feel that they want to see who wasn't selected, we find a way to do it.
There's some search firms, and I know what you're talking about, they give you an A list, a B list, and a C list. Well, I'm not too interested in the C list for sure.
Right.
And the A list are the people you really feel are gonna do the job, so here's the A list, I guess. is what I'm
Right,
saying.
exactly.
And I know.
Exactly.
I
And,
know the process you're talking about.
okay,